Hello guys and welcome back. Today we're gonna make something super excited, super simple, so anyone at home can really do it with minimum equipment, with minimum ingredients, and it's going to be a tea wine, essentially a wine made out of tea. And the main components for this wine is tea. So let's get to it and I will tell you more about it and how to do it exactly. All right, so as the title specifies, obviously a tea wine. What we will need is tea and sugar, and of course yeast. In this case, we are using our EC1118 yeast simply because we have a lot of it. And of course, we will be using, as always, our Fermax yeast nutrient. It's DAP. With some extra vitamins and stuff, etc. But again, the most important will be our tea. As you can see, maybe here on the side, I'm already prepared. It took us a while, obviously, to take so much water, filter it, and then let it steep because it was too warm. Um, Obviously, we have our thermometer. So when we actually boil water, we put it aside. We know when is the right temperature that we can pitch our yeast and start our fermentation. Also, just having something small device like this, it's very helpful overall in the kitchen. But if you don't have it, you don't need it. Technically, when you just boil the water and put a tea in it, just let it cool over a few hours, and then it will bring up naturally to the room temperature, and then you can start your fermentation. Also worth mentioning, the tea we are using. We are using the cheapest tea there is. We just bought the tea literally from one of the big shops, Kaufland. We picked the cheapest there is, or like no brand name, and we're just using this. We're not going for expensive PJs or whatever else, Earl Greys or whatever. It doesn't make any difference which tea you use. Of course, if you want, go for it and make something fancy. But you will be positively surprised when you do it yourself, or when we do second videos later on, that the basic, cheapest black tea really can produce an amazing wine. So this is the tea we are using. Nevertheless, just quickly to let you know what we will be using when it comes to our tools. Obviously, what we have is our cylinder with our turkey baster, because we need to check the gravity exactly. Of course, apart from that, we have our fermenter. In this case, we have our big white mouth fermenter, simply because I've done tea wine before and I really enjoyed it. And I want to make sure I have more this time instead of just 5 liters. So therefore, we're making it a white mouth fermenter. And a yeast starter, starter, I've already prepared. Actually, what I did, I just put a yeast and the DAP in the water, simply because I like to do it this way. It's much easier to pitch instead of just pouring the yeast directly from the packet. And so it's sitting here on the side. As I mentioned, it's EC1118 with DAP in it. It's 5 grams each. In your case, you probably will be using small packets, and all of these packets are 5 grams at the end of the day already. But yeah, the most important right now, it's putting the sugar into our tea. For now, it's not wine yet. And the amount of sugar we will be putting in, 1.3 kilos of sugar, which will give us roughly 10% alcohol. Okay, obviously this is estimation. After I pour the sugar, we will check the gravity, starting gravity. But yeah, let's get straight to it. So obviously 1.3 kilo, we have our cheapest sugar we could find in here. 1 kilo, let's put it in straight away. All right, so 1 kilo is in. Now 365 grams of sugar exactly we wanted to pour in, but I'm gonna eyeball it, to be honest. I have my scale here, so there is no need to eyeball it, but we're home brewers, 1% this way or half percentage this way won't make a difference. So we have a package of used sugar here. Let's see how much. Okay, it's 532, which is a little bit too much. We want to put 360, which is more than half, and I just eyeball it. All right, so we've put roughly around 1.3 kilos of sugar. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix it in right now. And all we have to do, we just have to make sure there is no sugar on the bottom of the fermenter, and all of it is dissolved. Okay, so let's dissolve it, and I will see you on the other side. All right, so right now what we have is we have our sweet tea, essentially. It's sugar inside, it's dissolved, and right now one of the most important things that you really, really have to do Well, you don't have to do it, but really, really recommend it, is a gravity reading. Let's do it. Oh, heavy. Okay. All right, gravity test is done, and our starting gravity is 1046. Okay, 1046, one of the lower gravities. But this is also something we've discussed. Obviously, EC1118 yeast is an alcohol tolerance 18% yeast, which is really high. And we've noticed that when we go that high, we don't really enjoy the wines as much. And so the goal would be for us to maybe, well, probably use different yeast as well in the future, which of course we do. But at the end of the day, we wanted to do something lower gravity, and 1046 is perfect example of that. So just a quick calculation for you guys to see what potentially can happen with this wine. Starting gravity 1046 minus final gravity, we are assuming, of course, they will go all the way dry, which is 1000. It will be 0.046, and then we take this number and multiply by 131.25, and this will amount to 6.1, which is, well, around 6% alcohol. Now, 6% alcohol, some people could argue, well, it's not really a wine. Wine should be between, 10, 12, 8 at least. Maybe. But we are homebrewers. Who cares? We don't care if it's 6% of alcohol or it's 8 or it's 10 as much. We wanted to have lower gravity. There it is, right? If we want it, or if you follow the steps and do it at home, all you have to do is just put more sugar. Simple as that. You put more sugar, you do gravity reading again, and then you will have more starting gravity, which will amount to higher percentage alcohol or higher volume alcohol in the end of the fermentation. We, in our case, are more than happy with 6% wine. If you're not, add more sugar. Simple as that. Okay, but of course, what we will do, we will continue monitoring our fermentation. We will eventually rack it. Of course, we will also show part 2 and part 3 for a tasting. To be honest, for this, I'm super excited. But before all these steps happen, one last step, of course, putting the yeast in. Now, as I mentioned, we already have yeast and dough prepared in our well, I don't want to call it starter, our starter. And all we have to do is just put it in. Done. Simple as that. There is a little bit left, but it's all sanitized, so I'm not too worried. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. Okay. And what we will do right now, we'll put the lid on top. That's been sanitized in the bucket for a while. We'll put the lid on top, and our bubbler goes. Our bubbler goes on top. Okay. Now, please do leave us some comments, leave some likes, share the video. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Let us know if you ever done a tea wine or you're planning to. Maybe again, we strongly recommend and show you exactly in the part 2 and part 3 more about how it went. But yeah, I'm personally super excited for it. Can't wait to try it. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next. Bye bye.